On today's DNVR Nuggets podcast, it's time to put our predictions on wax, boys. We're going to be predicting the Nuggets record, where they finish in the standings, and the entire Western Conference. We're snake drafting our guys. And the NBA returned last night. Two very interesting games. Can't wait to talk about with that on the other side of this 30-second intro.
I love it.
Yeah, that's right. In my voice. Oh, man, guys. Let's get this going, shall we? Shall we? What is up, everybody? Welcome to the DNVR Nuggets Podcast.
Let's go. Let's go.
There it is. That's the interview I was looking for. Presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and use that code DNVR365 when you sign up. Choose your offer to find out why. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. We are here in the Toyota Lounge. Why?
Yes, we are.
Because it's a big day. We got to boot out those buffs and say, no, we're in here today. It's prediction day, baby. The four of us together, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. My energy's on 100. Basketball's back. What is it? There's always sadness in the winter. What do you call it?
Oh, seasonal
depression. Yeah,
seasonal affected depression.
A very real thing.
I have off-seasonal depression. That's what I go through. But it's over. I'm happy now.
Good.
I don't know if I could say the same for Brendan Vogt.
Yeah, basketball's back. Whatever. Excited for the Nuggets part. Very excited for the Nuggets. Yeah, Tatum was really good.
Such a funny way to start the season, man.
Tough start.
They
looked great.
Over here, I got D-Line Co.
That's right, guys. I also watched the NBA games last night, and I got to say, those were games, man.
That's true.
They were on TV.
The NBA is a funny product right now, isn't it? You never know what you're going to get. 20-point blowout in the first quarter? Maybe twice? Sure. And then over there, the man with the wind behind his hair.
I'm willing to make sweeping conclusions based on
definitely
one or the two games I watched.
The first game of the season.
Well, how
Absolutely.
about if you want to talk about one game narrative fodder, two sides of a trade and both of them lost on day one?
I mean,
dude.
is that not what we said on this show, though?
We gotta.
Yeah, that's true.
You gotta write a scathing review of the trade now, based off of the one game.
I mean, I don't want to overreact, but I feel like I know those four teams now.
It's time to, honestly, it's Overreaction Wednesday. And yes, the games happened last night. The Boston Celtics on banner night beat the heck out of the New York Knicks. Broke their spirit, broke their will, broke their nets, caught them on fire, 132-109. And then, of course, the Lakers, JJ Redick, coaching genius. They actually had some nice little ball movement going. They didn't even look like the Lakers. They did some stuff. But more to the point, the Timberwolves, my God, did they look like a team that is never going to score a basket in the half court as they lose to the Lakers 110-103. I want to start there because I'll start with my big take on this one. I loved last night's games. I loved them.
Did you?
What about them?
Because I feel like it is a rare example of a narrative actually getting set and one that is appropriate. There is a juggernaut in the NBA, and it is the reigning Boston Celtics, who did not have Kristaps Porzingis.
Oh, God.
They play this Missoula ball style that I don't really love. I actually kind of hate it. But you know what? It was nice for them to start the season the way they did, because it's like, you know what? That's the mountaintop. You don't always see the mountaintop till Christmas, sometime around then. I see it nice and clear. The Boston Celtics are the best team in basketball, and that is the challenge, in my opinion.
That's inarguably the case. They are the team to beat, not just because they won, but because the process looked sharp. They dominated everyone. They brought everyone back. They have a coach who's a legitimate psychopath. And they've thus far, they've talked and walked embracing this challenge.
Yep.
I will say, Denver Nuggets looked pretty good on ring night last year, too.
I remember that.
The Celtics looked truly amazing. And the thing that's different is, I like your point. This is not a knock on them in any way. We already know everything about this team. We know how they're going to play. We know what they want their best basketball to look like. We know what the occasional Achilles heel could look like in terms of their two best shot makers kind of going off script. But they're so committed right now to this Missoula ball. They're playing it the right way. And it's not just the Celtics, it's the Celtics style of basketball right now that is the team to beat.
Yeah, I mean, they did shoot like 56% from behind three.
While missing their last 14.
Yes. And that
In a row.
I actually took note of that because it wasn't their top players, but like when they had to hit a shot, they absolutely
I
could
love
not.
that take.
I'm serious, dude.
5 pepper scale. I love
you,
that take.
you've
though,
got
like-
that, and then I don't think the basketball gods were pleased with
I just
how
don't
they
think
went
that
about
like
it either.
they came out and they just started hit. It's this thing. It's like once the front
It
runner thing.
snowballs,
It's
yeah.
the front runner thing.
Yeah.
It really is.
That's
like
a great
they
point,
have
Elon.
not been. They just didn't get pushed. They didn't get pushed. And I still believe and can never be talked off the idea that had Nikola Jokic been in the paint against them in the championship, and they would be unable to stop him, that they would start to get a little more tense when it came to their threes. But I mean, listen, like you want to talk about just open it up and be like, hey, we're back. That was the worst game I think I've watched in a really long time. Like it was deeply unentertaining. Like you have to be
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. Like,
was.
I mean, it was just like, what are we doing,
worst
dude?
game
It was
ever.
so uninteresting.
Spoiler alert, that's how a lot of games are going to look.
I know,
this
dude. Like
season.
I watched that game. I put it in the Slack. I was like, how long until they ban the 3-point line or move it back or
They
something?
honestly they scored 60 points. 4 players scored 60 points in 1 week, and the NBA is like, all right, guys, we gotta start calling fouls.
Dude, I started to think about it like the 3-point line could just not curve around to the corners.
Yeah, people
it could just be
proposed that
moved
before.
out. Yeah, and it just hits from end
just
to
ends
end.
on the wing.
Yes. They're going to have to do something because, like, truly, like, it's just the ball movement is them just throw here
I know.
to you.
They're not unbeatable, but to me, it's the takeaway is that they're the best team in the exact same way. If anything, they might double down on it this year.
Oh, they totally will. Why wouldn't
so
they?
they're just pedal to the metal. So I think we all wonder. I almost wonder if almost every other team is just going to try to do what Boston's doing a little bit and be worse at it.
Of course.
There's one team that has something that Boston doesn't, and Denver does have the best player in the world. Now, Denver has to get there, and I think they're less likely to get there. But we've said it for 2 years now. That's the matchup we have yet to see. Clearly the best team in terms of top to bottom, right? But versus the actual best player who's on a pretty good team himself. I think it's up to Denver. It's a long season. We'll see. But Boston looks to be great in the exact same way. So it's just a team we know a lot about already.
I love this because to me, every great movie has the scene at the end of Act 1 where the challenge, you realize how great it is. It's like, it's not just a heist. It's the biggest heist that's ever happened. And by the way, it's not just hard to break into, it's impossible to break into. And that's what last night kind of was. You're like, that team is insane. And what they do is so repeatable and easy. Yes, shots fall or don't. And we don't know how they'll handle pressure. All your points are perfectly accurate. But when you watch how many wide open shots they generate,
So
you're
many.
like,
So
that
many.
looks hard to guard. And they're coming off of the season. They're getting the banner. They're getting all that stuff. But I loved it because exactly what both of you said, which is I look at it and I go, cool, man. It's going to be great when Denver beats them.
Yeah.
It's going to be so much better when and if Denver beats them. And I would rather that. Denver has a title. We always have that. It's great. Now, if you have to go through that team doing those things, it'd be even sweeter.
Yeah,
all on the
I
table.
think the Nuggets are probably the only team that can beat the Celtics in a playoff matchup. That's kind of how I view it right now. Just because they would go about playing the Celtics in a different style than everybody else would. They're not going to play the same way the Celtics do, and I just don't think you're going to beat the Celtics at that game.
No way.
The
You're
three-point
not.
shooting game. And so you have to approach it differently, and I feel like the Nuggets are really the only team that's equipped enough to do that.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously it starts with Nikola Jokic dominating that matchup, which he's done before. But I mean, how every team is built, I can really just only see the Nuggets as a team that could beat them in the playoffs.
What's funny, like as soon as this like new style of play was brought in by the Warriors, it was like super exciting and like it relied on sort of Herculean efforts. Like Steph would make shots, you're like, oh my god, how did he make that? All this stuff, you're like, this is unbelievable. And the Celtics, they just like it's Peyton Pritchard, and he just has a wide open shot. And it's you don't see anything where you're like, holy how the hell did they do that? It's like, okay,
Impressive in its simplicity almost.
right, totally,
Yeah.
I mean,
it's,
truly.
it's how they just replicate it. every time. And there is a real commitment to playing their version of the right way, or of that way, that I think is the thing that's really impressive. And occasionally their two best guys freestyle. It actually worked out quite well for Jaylen Brown when he did in the playoffs. But all the other guys, like Derek White's going to make the extra pass to the next guy. The next guy's going to make the extra pass to Derek White every single time.
Yep.
And there is not a more confident bunch of catch and shooters in the world right now than the guys playing that role in Boston. It's been that way for a while.
We did that sketch, the Inside Out sketch, and the hook of it was, we're back where we belong. Nobody believes in us again. And part of me looks at it and I'm like, man, it's so sweet. Last year, as much as we brought this up, the Hunter thing, it's clear who now is the top dog in the NBA. And I just love that because I look at it and I go, bring it on.
Yep.
There you go. That's the mountain. It's a big mountain.
I
The
love
Nuggets
it too.
are not
It's awesome.
The Nuggets are not there right now, but can they get there? Absolutely. And it's a great chapter 1 or prologue to the season ahead for the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
Another chapter, though, Minnesota Timberwolves look horrible. And this one is only game 1. I think we read less off of this one than we do the other one. The Celtics, I think, are who they look like. But the Timberwolves last night, man, you change Karl Anthony Towns, who a great player, but probably a little underappreciated for some of the things he brings to the table. Julius Randle, bottom 5 least favorite player in the NBA. I've always thought that. I've always hated this guy. And watching him hold the ball for 8 seconds out of a time before doing an 8 dribble nothing and then resetting the clock was a thing of beauty. They couldn't get stops when Gobert wasn't on the court. They had to go to zone because they were giving up a 19-2 run on 0 stops. And then offensively, you watch it and you go, they really don't have a lot of creation.
But Adam, he also didn't box out or run very hard in transition. So tell the whole story.
He did knock LeBron though over. He is. I'll give Julius Randle one thing. He doesn't look like the strongest guy in the NBA, but
He's
he
big,
is
dude.
pound for pound. Like LeBron doesn't get knocked back like that very
It'd be
often.
terrible.
And
It'd be
he
terrible.
freaking trucked. He was an offensive foul,
massive,
but he
yeah.
is so strong.
He's massive. Yeah, I mean, this. It's funny because looking back, I think Wynn's read on that trade is probably the most correct and obvious one. That it was just right before our eyes, a salary dump, just getting off of all of that money they were going to ultimately owe to Karl Anthony Towns, but just the style of play that Julius Randle, he hasn't worked out that well anywhere until he went to New York and they made him the featured guy. This is like a Jeremy Grant situation where you're he shouldn't be this guy, but he can be dominant if he's given so many opportunities to be extremely inefficient, but just still going at it. Him having to work his way. If they were smart, they would try to make him the Aaron Gordon role. I don't know if he's going to do it though.
He's not going to want to do
He
that.
doesn't have the skill set to do that. I don't
So
think.
I almost
Just be
wonder
big.
if this was ever even the plan to make it work with Julius Randle, right? So is he an eventual trade candidate?
Well, they got to try to make it work for the next 3 months at least or 2 months until December 15th. But
Right.
look, I know everybody hates how much I rip on the Eastern Conference. I think I'm right about it. We'll see. I mean, I think the West is a little weaker this year, but I think Randall's going to be exposed a little bit going from the Eastern Conference to the West. And the fact that he could beat up on a lot of bad teams and inferior competition in the East, that's not the case anymore. And like you were saying, guys like him, his skill set, he's kind of tailor-made to be the best player on a bad team.
Totally.
He can't be the best player or the second best player on a good team.
Yeah.
That's just not how he's wired. I don't think that's his skill set. That's not who he is. How inefficient he is, the type of shots he gets, that stuff just doesn't work on a team that's trying to contend like Minnesota and making him a top scoring option. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, they looked like a completely different team making that swap. Towns for him, completely different. Mike Conley looked old.
That's the big one, man. That's a big one.
Yeah.
He kind of had a surprise year last year in how effective he could be, but we all know the bill comes due at some point. Maybe it came due for him. But Jaden McDaniels, I will give the Wolves credit in one thing. Gets in foul trouble, and maybe it would have been different. But you know what else? Jaden McDaniels is always in foul trouble.
Yeah.
As I just look at that Wolves team, and I was supremely unimpressed. And, it is one game, but I will say, I watched that one, and I go, you always focus on your own team. Man, there's a flaw here. There's a flaw here. When you see another team, you're like, oh, my God, they have some major flaws. Naz Reid, he does some nice dribble stuff like this. Couldn't guard a chair if it had wheels on it.
Yeah.
He's
He's really only good against the Nuggets.
There were already questions about the spacing for Ant when it was Towns and Gobert. And I mean, Randall.
And you saw that last night, man.
Like, yes, Randall will get threes up in volume, but he's not actually helping your spacing. I mean, your teams are. He's not a great shooter. He'll get them up. Teams will live with it. So that's awkward. They're going to have to work their way around that. There's an alternative theory, right? You could look at this as an obvious next trade guy, right? Do they flip Julius eventually? But even in that situation, are the Wolves in a spot where they have to spend too much of their season solving new problems rather than building upon, the solutions they found last year? And I wonder if I understand why financially they had to reset the deck. But is this a hiccup year now because they can't just sort of hit the ground running and become a better version of what got them so far?
Definitely did not feel like a momentum from last year carrying into this year
Not
game.
at all.
It felt completely like a reset 100%. And now
It is one.
It is one game, but but I mean, it also, you just see how hard things are. Like the natural play number one, shot clock's winding down because like, what are we doing? It's going to take some time. And I definitely, to me, watched that game and thought the Wolves, they're going to have a battle just like everyone else in the West.
Also, you just signed Gobert this massive extension before the game.
I was thinking about that last night. We're going to go to break in a second here, but if you're him, you just signed a massive extension and you got your butt kicked on opening night. Do you celebrate?
Yeah.
Is that like
Yeah.
just got 144
Oh,
million
no,
dollars?
absolutely.
Yeah.
You celebrate.
100%.
probably do.
Yeah.
All right.
It's probably a good celebration, too.
He's by himself at Denny's. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, we're going to start getting into some practice notes as well as starting our predictions for the season. Let us know in the chat, where are you guys predicting the Nuggets to finish this year? How many wins and what seed? We're going to be getting to that on the other side.
Shout out to Red Hawk Roofing. Best roofers in Denver. They are a part of the DNVR team. So hit them up if you need any roofing needs, home, business, whatever it might be. They are your guys. Quality materials, decades of experience, the quickest response time. You hit up Red Hawk Roofing and you're like, hey man, I need some work on my roof. They'll get back to you right away. Colorado's best estimators and contractors as well. They're huge DNVR supporters. They'll be at the bar a ton this Nuggets season, this Avs season. They're here a lot. If you run into them, say hi. Free no obligation roof and property inspection. Free in-depth photo report for all inspections as well. Again, if you have questions about your roof, if you need a new roof, you need repairs, hit them up. Supporting your local teams means also supporting local businesses like Red Hawk Roofing. If you're looking for a new roof over your home or business, be sure to check out redhawkroofing.com. 720-771-8921. Tell them DNVR sent you.
And sometimes life gets bright and messes with your eyes. That's why you need Shady Rays. It's not a real expression. Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. One thing that's great about Shady Rays is sometimes you try on a pair of sunglasses and no one's around and you think you look really cool, and then you wear them around other people and you were wrong. But that's okay, because with Shady Rays, you can always return, no questions asked, within the first 30 days. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. And exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com and use code DNVR for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try it for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people.
Try them for yourself. Guys, look at this number right here, 95,573. We are so close to 100,000 subscribers.
Bro,
Yes,
it's
we
a
are.
race to 100. We're trying to decide. When we get close, we're
100,000.
going to do some ridiculous internet
We
stuff.
have to, man. We have to do
I think
a
what will
crazy-
happen is it'll be me, D-Line, in the bar, just getting drunk online.
Oh, I would subscribe to that.
Yeah, until we get the subs.
Yeah,
like,
we can't stop drinking.
yeah, dude, I'm
Can
just going to
we-
get drunker
Can
and
we
drunker.
the keg?
Win do the pony keg 5?
Yeah,
Like,
finally.
Like,
Yeah.
can we make
I don't know. I
him
was
do
looking
it?
around. I didn't see it the other day.
Oh, wait, there it is.
Oh,
I found
shit,
it.
there it
Oh,
is.
we
Yeah.
found
All right,
it.
there it is.
It's a little
Yeah,
warm.
yeah. So subscribe if you haven't. Tell your friends to subscribe. Get us that 100K, man.
You
Like,
wanna know
make
how to
us
get-
feel like a success in life.
Get the vibes on 100, get the subs to 100. It's a big deal for us. We're very proud of what we've tuned in, and this is the year, man. This is the year we crossed that. In fact, this might be the week We're getting awfully close.
We want it so bad. We
Also
taste
become
it.
a diehard. We have some great written content up on the site. I'm very proud of that. Has great graphics. So it's like a beautiful thing. Like you scroll it, it like looks like a work of art with all the different charts and graphics.
Print it out and frame it, dude. Don't even read it.
Honestly,
It's our season preview that Adam's talking about. Check it out.
Sure, you can
Did I never say that?
become a
named it.
diehard at the link right in the show notes. First line.
Yeah.
Click there. Sign up. Read the season preview. It's great stuff.
and if you do neither of those things, do this last one. Come to the DNVR bar tomorrow. My God, there's no energy like opening night energy. It's gonna be a party tomorrow night.
And
Look at that! The soundboard double,
Dude,
baby!
we don't
I'm
even-
so pumped.
I need everyone in Serbia to close their eyes and their ears.
Doesn't matter.
We're making a mixed drink with Rocky.
Hey, this is called the melting pot of cultures. This is
Yeah.
This would not.
this is Serbia meets the U.S. and we come together.
You thought we couldn't Americanize your,
Oh, dude,
your
this is- I
beautiful
mean-
heritage drink?
You don't have to mix them. If you want, you could just drink them separate if that's the way you want to do it.
No, we're mixing them. And again, I do think that this is some sort of like federal trade issue. So, get in on it early before the election happens. I'll say that.
Before tariffs are up.
Oh, God.
Before it's 20% more expensive.
All right, let's get
Not
to
to get political.
let's get to our practice notes here. Not a lot of notes on the docket vote, but we were there.
We were there. And the Denver Nuggets were there as they get ready to play the Oklahoma City Thunder to start their season. And Michael Malone said, was asked if he still gets excited for opening day at this point in his career. And he said, I always get excited.
I believe that.
If you're not, you shouldn't be doing this anymore. If you break down the last month, it's almost like 3 different training camps. You've been saying this, Adam. Camp before you go to Abu Dhabi, camp when you get home from Abu Dhabi, and then obviously a little mini camp after our last game against Minnesota. I think I speak for the entire group, for everybody. They're excited to get back out there and start the season off. And what greater challenge than when you have the number 1 seed in OKC in your building? Malone obviously loves that, to just start the season that way against this team. So that's the mindset right now for Michael Malone. Excited to get going. And I think much like the fans, they didn't quite care for that preseason. I think they're happy it's over, and I think they're ready to get this operation underway.
There it is. The first. It's an insult adding Rakia.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, we know.
Power down, sir. You can't even come to the bar. What are you kidding?
But it's insane that we're doing that.
We know what
We don't
we're
know
doing.
what's going to happen. That might happen.
We know what we're doing. Our eyes are wide open.
He was asked about how Russ might help the second unit. Will Russ have helped the second unit? And he said, the thinking should never be from a losing mindset. Oh, hey, let's just hold water here. Let's only get outscored by 2. I want us to have a positive mindset, an aggressive mindset, to win those stretches without Nikola. What? And he said, obviously, Westbrook has never taken a backward step in his life, and I don't expect him to now.
I agree with all of those things, man.
Yeah, I'm just going to run through. There's not a ton here.
Westbrook was also awesome today.
He was. And Malone said, I love the fact that going into the season, there are no minutes restrictions. So that's...
Yeah, he laughed at my question about Peyton Watson being
Perfectly
on
fine
one.
question.
Well, again, but it was kind of funny because I'm like, well, we haven't seen him and we have no idea how healthy he is.
So I think the fact that Jamal Murray is not on any type of restriction is pretty notable.
I agree.
Because coming into the season, I was like, oh, maybe they'll definitely hold him out on some back-to-backs, which maybe they will.
Right.
Maybe that's not classified as a, quote, restriction. Maybe that will happen, but I think it's very encouraging. It's a great sign that he's heading into the season under no quote-unquote restrictions.
Strong agree.
Yeah, and as Malone said that, guys, I thought back and wondered, last year Porter had the ankle sprain. Murray had a little hamstring issue.
CB missed a lot of...
CB, there were some caution tape up to start the season. So it's nice that they can hopefully, ideally, hit the ground running. When asked about what it takes to beat OKC, what doing your job against OKC looks like, he said it requires great discipline. Discipline in terms of who are we guarding, knowing their tendencies. Shea, for example, he leads the league every year in rejecting pick and rolls. So you have to know that. Can't let him reject. He leads the league in steals per game. So you have to try not to over dribble, make the pass. If we can try to force the Thunder to be a half-court team, we'll give ourselves a chance to win. So Malone always clear about his areas of emphasis in any given matchup.
So true.
And transition here against the Thunder, limiting it, first of all, by turning the ball over, but just doing what you can in general to keep them in the half court is the key. And then asked about continuity one last time. We've done this a lot over the years. He said, with continuity comes confidence. You know each other. There's an unspoken chemistry on the court, but it takes time. For us to have a core four that's been together, that's won a championship, and been a part of probably the best period of Nuggets basketball, you can't go into a practice and try to replicate that. Then finally, Michael Porter Jr., we heard from Christian Braun is ready. We're excited for what he brings to the starting lineup. You can always ask Mike, by the way, if there's a position battle. You can always ask Mike.
I know. It is so
He'll
true.
just accidentally tell you
it is
every time.
hilarious.
CB is ready. We're excited for what he brings to the starting lineup and the kind of intangibles he's able to bring. He's gotten a lot better individually as a player as well, so we're looking forward to playing with him. He deserves it. And then one more about Aaron Gordon getting his extension. He says he deserves it. I'm very happy for him. He deserves every dollar. Denver should be excited. The city and the organization. He defines what Nuggets culture is about. Love that quote.
You missed the biggest note, though,
On that?
on Jokic.
Oh, well, yeah. You guys, Jokic shaved his beard.
No!
What?
What? This normally would be news.
Are you serious?
This would normally be news that would be met with great rejoicing.
Oh
Right.
my!
We were getting, but
That's right. Breaking news on the DNVR show. Jokic shaved the goatee and the neck beard. He's got a different look going on for the start of the season.
Whatever.
You know, I can't say I'm surprised, but I'm disappointed.
You know what, though? There is a part of me that goes, Yoke does. Why does he dress suits? Different man. You know, it's business. I'm focused. There's a little bit of like, you know what? Summer's over.
It was a summer
Yeah,
look.
Summer's over. It's
there
business
is,
time.
and
I better
that's
find
what
out
he
that
does
this is
every
a
year,
this is a
but-
Manscaped tie-in or something. If he just did this on his
It's a
own,
marketing play.
Yeah, if he did this on his own, this better be like Gru. He did this on his own. I just don't feel like
Did
I can
Gru
trust him as
ever
well.
shave in Despicable Me?
He's incapable of
Any
growing
of them.
hair. Yeah,
He never grew any facial
son
hair.
of a biscuit.
I know. Does it change your predictions? At
Yes.
all? Okay. Well, we'll upgrade the
The
graphic.
winter bush has
See,
been shaved.
dude, fudge.
Yeah, the only
winter
silver
bush.
lining here is we don't have to hear D-Line say that anymore.
Yes,
we
we
don't have
do.
to hear that anymore.
Yeah, the joke's on you.
Could be in reference to what we lost.
we went a little long here. Let's take our early break so we can go a longer prediction segment on the other side. We'll get our predictions.
Prediction time. Guys, if you have any flooring needs, check out Empire today. They're the best in the floor game. They actually did our floors here in Studio A, which you can sometimes see on the camera shot. Beautifully done. They were very quick when doing them, so fast. And they've held up too. You know, we move a lot of sets around on this show, chairs, this table here. Floors still look great though. I barely see any scuff marks. So if you need
read the comments.
new floors for your home business, whatever it might be, check out Empire today. Their philosophy is to help you find what you need, not overwhelm you with thousands of choices and substitutes. They have a virtual floor designer on their website. It's a great way to see how new floors will look in any space. Just snap a picture, upload it, boom. You can see how floors will look in your house. So schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can get $350 off when you use the promo code DNVR. Restrictions apply. See EmpireToday.com/DNVR for details. Empire Today, the best place to get new flooring. Nobody beats them on quality, service, and speed. Get $350 off when you use the promo code DNVR. EmpireToday.com/DNVR for details.
I'm gonna do this read as simply as I can.
Okay.
I like beer.
Heck yeah, you do.
Beer makes me fat.
Yep.
Miller Lite does not make me fat.
Okay.
Good so far.
I like Miller Lite.
There you
Oh,
go.
wow.
I love when it's Miller time, and it's Miller time whenever you want it to be. Actually, just grab a Miller. A lot's changed over the years. One thing that hasn't the great taste of Miller Lite was the original light beer, and to this day, it's still the best one. Don't fix it if it ain't broke. You know what I mean, fellas? Miller Lite is more of the taste you want, less of the stuff you don't. A lot of copycats, but just remember that the original light beer tastes like beer. It's less filling. It's only 96 calories. It's been that way since 1975. Times change, but you can always enjoy the great taste of Miller Lite. It tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/DNVR. Or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces.
God, I love Miller Lite.
All right, we are back.
Just far and away the best light.
It's the best light beer, man.
It's so
DNVR
obvious.
Nuggets Podcast, and it is prediction time. Kel, you have these individually, right?
I predict I'll drink
Nothing to
15
gain,
Miller
everything to
Lights
lose.
on the internet on
I'll
Friday.
drink a pony keg of Christmas ale.
No, you won't.
Let's get into it, boys. D-Line, why don't you start us off?
Sure. What am I?
Wow, that was a rough person to throw to for the first one. You know,
Well,
I should have gone somewhere else.
Well, listen. I want to know what we're predicting. We're predicting a great many things.
Okay.
My prediction, my official prediction for the Denver Nuggets, I think they're going to win 59 games.
Franchise record.
Franchise record.
We set a franchise record last year by tying the other one.
Yeah.
But it was the most that this group had won together. And when I look at all the things that have transpired over the offseason, I feel like they got better. I really do feel like they got better. I don't think they took a step back at all. I think that we actually are in a place that we can really capitalize on what was a huge weakness for this team last year, which was the bench. The bench cost the Denver Nuggets
A lot.
games. They cost the Denver Nuggets energy. They cost the Denver Nuggets a great amount of just efficiency. Jokic would be up 10 points every time he left the floor and would come back down 5 every time. And it's just, after a while, you understand like why the team said that they were so tired. We hate this excuse, but this is just something that can alleviate that. So listen, man, I realize it seems like a bit of a homer take, and I am an unapologetic homer, but I do believe this. I really do think that the Denver Nuggets will go over again their win total, because that's what they do. But listen, and I wanted to say 60 EL, but I felt like if I said 59, it would make me seem less
It
like
does.
It gives you a modicum
gives
of
me-
objectivity there.
How much is that? It's $9.99.
yeah, but really,
No, really,
but
it's
at the end of the day,
$10. No,
like
it's
at
$9.99.
the end of the day, I think they're 2 wins better than last year.
Okay, 2 wins better.
And they are second in the, which is crazy, but I do think that Oklahoma City is going to pace the
good.
Western Conference quite a bit.
Bunch
So
of young bucks.
yeah,
All right, Harrison.
My official prediction
Is
55 wins in the 3 seed.
The 3 seed. 55 wins a lot, though.
So
Second
just
most,
the 3?
second most in the Jokic era.
yeah, and what was that? 2 fewer than last year.
who's your 2 seed with more than 55?
Well, you can't.
Oh,
you can't.
I
We'll
can't
get
do
to
that
in a
yet.
second.
Sorry, I'm
Find
sorry.
out.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
So I think last
Or
year,
during the show.
well, the
During the
Nuggets
show,
were
during
obviously the 2 seed last
How
year
about
with
just don't do the show?
57 wins, and then the 3 seed last year had 56.
Yeah.
So-
it was a top heavy West though last year.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I got 55 wins.
All
for the
right.
Nuggets in the 3 seed.
That'd be an encouraging one. Vote. You want to go?
Yeah. I also have them as the 2nd seed, but I think it's going to look different in the West. I think it's the 2nd seed with 53 wins, which would have been good for 3rd last year behind the Wolves. Denver finished 2nd, of course. But I'm thinking the Wolves are going to be closer to 50 wins than 56 this time. So I
Man.
think 53 can sneak it. And then you'll have Suns, Mavericks, Wolves, Clippers. I don't know. Probably
Yeah,
not,
not the
actually.
Clippers.
Not the Clippers. But teams hovering around 50. And I wonder if Denver can sneak above. And then I think OKC would probably be a little closer.
Yeah.
So I kind of have the West winning less games in general in terms of the top heavy teams. So I have 53 wins, but that's good for the 2 seed.
I like it. I'm the lowest, though, in the group. And here's the thing. I said last week, people did not like it. I said I was lower than consensus. What I meant was projection.
People really did not like it.
They did not like it because this is my 10th
didn't
year
like
on the
it.
job. I 9 years have taken the over on the Nuggets, and I was going to take the under for the first time ever. But guess what? It didn't happen. I actually went over. I'm at 52 win. The line is 51.5, and I actually flopped. Not going to lie to you. I flopped last night after watching the Wolves, and I was like, I think that might be easier wins than I thought. I still think 3 seed. And here's my rationale for this, because I think the Nuggets, I'm very high on them as a playoff team. I think they're going to be very good. I do think this is the year that
They start to rest.
they start to rest a little bit more. I do think that you look at players that you can't be without. Jokic, obviously, that's every year. But Jamal, Julian, Michael Porter, more so than ever, Denver's thin at shooting. And any of those guys missing games, I think you're going to have some awkward combinations that you're going to have to play. And Denver, I think this year may hit some rough patches.
Yeah.
It might even be early on, although I'm pretty optimistic about tomorrow's game. But I think that Denver is going to have a little bit more highs and lows than what we have seen over this last run, where we kind of just know the Nuggets we get. I think there might be some runs this year where it's like, man, Denver just dropped 3 in a row. Maybe there was an injury, maybe a shooting was off or what have you. But I also think there's going to be some highs this year, and I think it comes out in the wash. And then the other thing is, I know it's like people will say, well, they won 57. You think they're 5 games worse? Not necessarily. It can just be about how things shake out. And I think that Denver shakes out somewhere around 52 wins.
I can see. I mean, I can buy that rationale. Absolutely. It's just, I don't know, man. I just feel like less is going to be asked of the guys that would be resting. You know what I mean? I really
they might be able to rest without resting.
I just believe in my heart that the bench is that much better. Like with Julian Strother, with Russell Westbrook, with Dario Saric, with another year of development with Peyton Watson, I don't see a big drop off from the starters. Well, obviously that very much remains to be seen, but obviously mine is the sunniest outlook, but I mean, I believe it. I really do. Like, I just think that the Nuggets are in such a position where it's, when things go one direction, it's everybody's just like, well, that's over. That's it. That's the end.
I mean, I definitely think there's a lot of that with the Nuggets,
Yes, and I think they're going to surprise
the core.
I mean, I don't think that the players are surprised by that they're trying to rage against that or anything. I think that they have something that they haven't. In the past.
And here's the other part of this. For me, my biggest X factor is Jamal.
Of course.
And
of course.
this all comes down, like if Jamal has a great season this year, is healthy, but also just locked in and has a career year, which he's fully capable of doing, I think your number is actually very realistic. Like Denver's a great team. If he's inconsistent,
of course,
I think that 55, 54 becomes more likely. And if he's inconsistent and misses some time, I think my number is probably a little bit more accurate. So a lot of this comes down to that biggest variable, and all the other ones, in my opinion, become smaller variables that people over-exaggerate the smaller ones.
Can we run the numbers and see if Harrison was the exact middle in between everybody?
Let's see what the pragmatic.
I probably was.
The others say it's 55. I guess
pretty much. I offset you a little bit.
But I think that this year, more than any other year, has the widest bell curve. It's just like if you simulated this 100 times, you would probably have the bell curve that has the lowest peak and widest margin.
That's the intrigue for this year. Like,
it really
this is, as Ariana points out, is the year for us to all fall back in love with the game of basketball. And a lot of that has to do with the not knowing what's going to happen night to night and getting things that you don't expect to have happen. And just like the Celtics was, exactly what's going to happen every time down. There's nothing to love about that.
No.
They're going to shoot it. It's going to go in or it's not going to go in. The Denver Nuggets, there's so much variability, and I'm so excited to see what happens.
I'm really excited too. All right, let's get to the West standings. We'll go in reverse order. I will go first. I'll be honest. The top 5 to me, I feel excited about. All the other ones, when we had to get 6, 7, and 8, I was almost pick a hat. But the Thunder, I thought they were going to run away with this. I actually don't know if they will. Chet Holmgren, some reason, can't shoot again. I don't know why guys changed their shot. The ability to play 5 out was a big part of this, and then Hartenstein being gone is a big loss. That they changed their roster to be able to play 2 bigs. Now they can't do it. So I think they'll be number 1, but lower. I hate to say it, I'm buying the Phoenix Suns as a regular season team. How do you win in the regular season? You make a lot of threes. In the preseason, they did that. They have the guys to do it.
Usually you play in the regular season, too.
And you play. I think
going to count against them.
I think Mike Budenholzer is a phenomenal year 1 coach, and I just think they're going to eat up some easy wins. I have the Nuggets 3rd. I think Dallas 4. Dallas is a team that should do better than they do every year, but they always underachieve in the regular season. They coast a little bit. Minnesota, this is a literal last night I had them higher. Today I have them lower game after seeing what.
Listen, man, when you got to put something on wax, it makes it really
it makes it something. They looked at me like a team that I'm like, all right, well, there's that team now. And then after that, let's get crazy. I have no idea what to make of Memphis. Are they good or they not? Who the freak knows?
I literally forgot to put them on my list.
I literally forgot they were a team in the National Basketball Association.
And then you're talking about Sacramento, LA, the Warriors, Houston, Clippers, New Orleans. And I look at all of those teams and go, which one of those is going to be healthiest? Because none of them probably. And I just went with the Lakers because we'll get into
recency bias.
Honestly, I don't know why I went with the Lakers. Just because they. Here's
either.
why. No, I do know why. They have like 3 first-round draft picks they can trade, and
Yeah,
you guys,
they'll make a trade.
We know how this goes.
They'll
man.
get off to a bad start and make a trade. That's what will happen.
I think they'll get off
They
to
got
just
off to a pretty good start last night.
I think they'll get off to a medium start, but still make a trade for Zach LaVine or Brandon Ingram or
Right.
something, and they'll have just enough to become the 7 seed.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's going to be overstated really quickly and easily, but they do have a coaching upgrade. Like
Yeah.
I think they already do.
Yeah. So that was my list there, but the top 3 or 4 is the one that I feel is the bold one. After that, whatever. But I think the Suns are good this year in the regular season. I just think it's easy when you have great 3-point shooting and good spacing. They're going to have that this year, and they'll have a couple 25 3-point games. All right, Vogt, you're next.
Cool. Well, important disclaimer. In classic Vogt fashion, I completely forgot about the Memphis Grizzlies. I literally completely forgot about the
They
Memphis
existed?
Grizzlies.
Votes buying it heavy on Pajemski.
I'm not saying I wasn't sure where to fit them in. I forgot about them. But
Yeah.
anyway, here you go. So I have the Thunder 1. I have Denver 2 seed there, as we mentioned. And then I think it's actually going to get a little ugly in kind of like the 48 to 51 win range.
Yeah.
Dallas, I have, although it's kind of an uninspired pick, to be honest. Minnesota, I think, could struggle. Phoenix, I have a hard time giving them a tier bump for the reasons Eric said. I love all the threes they took in the preseason. Are Durant and Beal going to take them? Are they going to play enough games? So they could be really good, but they also have question marks. The Kings, I think, are fake good, but they are fake good. They'll win games, you know?
Dude, look at the bottom of your bracket here. California's sliding off into the ocean.
Yeah, so I got the Kings, who I think will probably win
Dragging
games, but
Arizona
I would not
with
be
it.
scared of them in a series if I were anyone. And then the Lakers and the Warriors.
Wow, great first round matchup. Nuggets Lakers.
Oh, God.
Never seen that before.
Dude, that'd be incredible. Please be correct.
Historically,
Please be
this means I'm
corrected.
obviously right. That's all I'm saying.
Wonder
Please
what the
be correct.
storylines will be that
Oh,
series.
my
I'm
God.
so
I wonder-
sorry, everyone.
Curious as to who is
Let's go over some
Put
key
Memphis in there.
matchups.
I'm curious as to who is whose daddy.
All right, Wind, you're up.
All right, here's mine.
Whoa.
Oh, Sacramento! I love that you got bold, Wind. Kudos to you, man.
I went bold.
I love it.
I'm buying the Sacramento Kings. Look, there's
Okay.
a team that jumps up to the top of the West every year.
That's true,
That we
Rando.
don't really expect. Last year was Minnesota. I'm buying
And
the
Oklahoma.
Kings, especially in the regular season. Am I buying them in the playoffs? Hell no. But in the regular season,
Poor Sacramento.
they shoot a lot of threes. They play fast. They got DeMar DeRozan. They have a good offense. De'Aaron Fox gets up and down. I just think they can bank a lot of wins in the regular season, and I put them as a 2 seed.
By
It's a shocker to
the
me, by the
way,
way.
talk about a repeat matchup. 7-2 Kings. The Kings are in the 2 seed and get the Warriors again.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry. The Nuggets get the Wolves. So.
Oh, God.
I got Nuggets 3, Suns 4, Mavs 5, Wolves 6, Warriors 7, Pelicans 8.
The Warriors, Lakers, like Pelican, all those teams, man, it literally could be any of them, and I think it'll just come down to which one of those guys got hurt. Okay, they're out. The other one is
Yeah.
in. Like,
So I did not have the Lakers in my top 8. Have you seen their bench?
I mean, I watched
Did
it
you
last
watch
night.
this game last night?
I did
and
watch
who
it.
they have off the bench?
How about that number 9 kid, though, in the second quarter?
Well, in the bench rotation.
Well, they have one guy I
I
absolutely
mean,
love.
Dalton Connect,
Yes,
Looked
sir.
awesome.
rookie.
Oh, yeah.
Max Christie looks bad.
Yeah, of course.
Jackson Hayes looked good, but is bad.
Yeah. That's a great, that was a great way to put it. You're right. He did look good.
Like that game last night probably gives him an extra, couple week run in the bench rotation.
I will say, Rui Hachimura looked really good.
He's a starter though. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, as
Yeah.
he
He did look
stagger, he looked really good.
He was also going up against Julius Randle.
so true.
All right, here's the correct answer, Kale. Okay, Oklahoma City Thunder, number 1. Boo. Nuggets, number 2. Dallas Mavericks, I believe, actually are good after the trades they made. They went higher than they should have in the playoffs, but I do believe that
I like that you took them higher because I think that's a good team.
I do think that they're good. And the Memphis Grizzlies, I believe in Zach Edey. I believe in
Oh, I thought you were
John
saying
Morant.
Hey,
I don't.
Conchar.
I don't.
I think that we're going to get a little noise out of them. I do think that
I
the
think
world.
we will get some noise out of them.
Well, I just think the world is like really turned their back on them, and they're much. They were like artificially kept down, like
Yeah,
injury,
yeah, of course.
obvious, off the court issues, this, that, or the other. I just think they're going to come back and make a little bit of some noise. I'm with you on the Kings, like 5. I think is close to where they were last year, but I do believe in them as well. The Phoenix Suns, I just can't. I can't buy it with these old ass players.
Because they're losers. Like,
Yes.
so, I mean, that's why.
I know, but I just
It's a strong argument.
like. Do you remember when Kevin Durant like missed 20 games because he was in the layup line and just fell down and just like hurt his.
Literally his first
It
20
doesn't
games.
happen all the time to him, though. But that was a time.
It
That
does
did
happen
one time.
quite often to him. Pels, I still have some belief in the Pelicans, and the Houston Rockets are the ones that I think are going to be the surprise. I do think they're going to rise a little bit. I love
that take.
I do like Jabari Green. I like Tari Eason. I like
Cam Whitmore.
They have a lot of good players, and this is the second year under Ime Udoka. Does he have enough sway to get these knuckleheads moving in the right direction?
I love knuckleheads.
I love Şengün. They actually have like so many players. You're like, that guy's good. That guy's really good.
Jabari Green is a hell of a
Jabari
player.
Green.
I like what you did there.
Oh, yeah.
Is that
two guys together,
Jabari Smith and Jalen Green.
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
But the point taken.
Yeah.
They got something there.
they've got
You didn't
guys,
even-
man.
The nicest one.
The
Reed
Pelicans one is
Shepard,
interesting.
baby.
Reed Shepard.
Oh, gosh.
I'm
That's
telling
what
you,
you were
like,
waiting for.
Kentucky guy in
Mitch
the
was just
shadows.
lingering, waiting
I
for it.
wouldn't be surprised if the Rockets actually creep up a little bit more than that. But
I tip my hat to that take because I love it, and I'm with you on that one. I think the Rockets are good. The only reason I don't buy them is I don't love the fit. Like they have a weird thing where I think their better players are on the bench.
yes,
And I hate
They're a
that.
bunch-
It is a weird thing, yeah.
They have a bunch of knuckleheads and a bunch of great players, and it is up to, franchise destroying Ime Udoka. Can he get the best out of these guys? I think so. I don't know. Like they seem like the kind of players that would respond to a coach like him.
In particular, Amin Thompson, Tari Eason, those two guys are
I'm
just
saying,
dogs,
man.
man.
The Pelicans pick is interesting. I thought about putting them over the Warriors
Yes.
at 8. They don't have a center.
I know.
And
Yeah.
that's a literal statement.
I know,
I just
but
don't
the
believe
thing
in
is
them
that
at all.
we are trained to think that that's a major weakness because that means you're going to lose to the Nuggets.
That's a good
Well,
point.
to
But
me,
like, not every team that's not a death blow to every team that you play against.
Yeah.
to me, it's a little bit more like Zion gets broken all the time, and he's their center. Like, good luck. All right, go bang against 7-footers all game. You'll make it till November 3rd.
Yeah.
and then he'll be out.
But
But they are interesting. They have some cool lineups, but
Yeah.
we'll see. All right, let's take our final break. On the other side, we'll have a little bit of fun snake drafting our guys.
The most anticipated
And-
event of the offseason.
And we have one rookie, one nugget, and 3 players that average under 10 points. It's going to be a fun little draft.
It definitely will be. Guys, check out BetterHelp. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp, look, if you've benefited from therapy before, you know what I'm talking about. We all have stressful lives. We all have a lot going on. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. So it's super easy to do. You don't have to go into an office to talk with somebody. You don't have to sit in traffic. You don't have to commute. It's just at your house or wherever you want to do it, on your laptop, on your computer, totally online, convenient, flexible, suited for your schedule as well. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire and you get matched with a licensed therapist. To switch therapists at any time, don't worry, no extra charge, super easy to do. You can overcome your fears with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/DNVR today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/DNVR again. Super easy, online, you can do it from the comfort of your home. You get matched up with a licensed therapist, then you go from there. BetterHelp.com/DNVR, get 10% off your first month today.
I just realized I did leave out the Wolves from mine.
Did you really? I didn't even notice.
They're meant to be 4. They're meant to be 4.
Saw the Rockets,
All that
RIP.
Rockets talk.
No, actually, I would bump the Pels. I believe in the Rockets.
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
there you
okay.
I like your.
What chaos? I'm not talking about D-Line's list. I'm talking about the All-City Hockey Podcast hosted by Pete Blackburn and DJ Bean. It's mostly hockey with a little bit of nonsense. Interviews. They're great at these. Get a lot of good guests with players, coaches, notable personalities in the world of hockey, and appearances from other local All-City NHL hosts. You have probably seen them on social. They're really great at getting their clips out. Really good, modern, fun content. I think it's digestible. I'm not a huge hockey fan. I click play when I see it. So how about that? Live 4 times a week at 12 Eastern time on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, make sure to check out their new merch collection, which just dropped in partnership with Just Dishin shirts, hoodies, hats, and accessories. Visit justdishin.com to check it out.
Real funny guys, man. Creative, funny guys. They have a very creative show, I would say. So if you're a hockey fan, definitely check that one out.
And while you're at it, check out the All NBA show.
Thanks, buddy.
It's also
Thanks,
a
man.
great
Yeah,
national
feels good.
podcast.
It's also a basketball show.
Yeah, featuring
talking about the game of basketball.
Yeah, Tim Armler or whatever. It's Tim Arms.
They call him Arms. Yeah.
Why is that
No, that's Adonis Arms.
Oh, whatever.
By the way, Legler on All NBA show last week, it's on the thumbnail, big Julian Strother guy.
Well,
Dude.
I mean, shooters.
I mean,
Rep
he's
shooters.
a shooter's guy. Like it is funny. His guys
Shooters got
are
to
all
stick up for shooters.
Big Dalton Quebec guy.
You know what that means? That man knows ball.
He does know ball, man.
This is
He's
Strother's
frightening
year.
how well he knows ball.
This is Strother's year, man.
Yeah, I learn a lot from Legler, man. I love talking.
It's frightening how much he knows.
It is frightening, man. Like sometimes I love that I get an hour of conversation with a guru.
Right.
Kind of how it feels,
Totally,
you know.
yeah.
It's pretty awesome. All right, guys, we're gonna snake draft our guys with two caveats. All players have to have averaged under 10 points per game last season.
Insane.
And at some point in the draft, you have to take a rookie. And at some point in the draft, you have to take a Nuggets player. You take them when you want. This is your guys.
Oh my
you
God.
can pander to the audience and just try to pick the statistical guys that are going to bump. Or you could say, you know what, these are just my guys, man.
And the number one pick for the 2024 Our Guys Draft, I will take Julian Strother. Mark it down.
God, it's the right pick.
Such a cool first
It's the right pick.
All right, Nuggets guys going early.
Let's go.
It's the right pick, dude. It's the best value on the board.
It's great value.
Also, it's like the funnest one to pick.
Oh, yeah. The strawberry?
You're
How
like,
sweet,
oh,
dude.
Reese O'Shea. All right. Well, sweet, dude.
See, now you kind of dictated the whole draft here,
Yep.
D-line,
Yep.
by jumping
I
on a
know.
Nuggets guy. I have to take a Nuggets
dude.
guy
There's a
second
run.
overall.
There's a run on
I
Nuggets.
have to do it. I have to do it. I'm
Do
taking
you?
Peyton Watson.
Right,
Number
there it
2
is.
overall is my guy.
All right. So
P.Y.
That's a good take.
I'm gonna go with
drop off now.
a tiny king. I'm going to take Reed Shepherd as my
Oh
rookie.
my God.
Rookie
What?
off the board.
Reed Shepherd
He
is
is
my
nice with
rookie.
it.
He is nice with it. Not the haircut. Not nice with the haircut, but he is nice with it.
I didn't know
King.
Reed Shepard was one of your guys.
Tiny
He is
King with a
90 now.
mustache. He wasn't on draft night. Watched him play at Summer League, which doesn't matter. I'm all in.
Yeah,
so, Reed Shepherd.
Man,
Turn, Adam.
well, it sucks because the Nuggets are gone. I don't
Yeah.
want, now I'm like, I just might as well take
You
a
made
minute
the
at
rules of
very
this,
end. Like, I might as well wait till the end of this. I am taking Derek Lively. I think that guy's a really good player.
scored under 10?
8.8 points a game last year, which is wild. I think he's a big part of what they do. And he's like, I always love when a player has more skill than they show, but they're like, all right, I'm a rookie. I got to
Yeah.
rebound and block shots. I'll do that. But I think he has a nice year.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, another pick here.
I mean, he was definitely one of the best available. On
Yeah.
my board.
Oh, you
in
know
terms
what?
of just players, pure players.
I can't wait to do this.
I know what you're going to do.
I can't wait
know
to do
exactly
this.
what you're doing. You wanna
Tari Eason. I'm taking Tari Eason. as my
Hey, listen.
what
guy.
you're doing?
Hey,
I'm
listen.
about to ruin your draft.
That's well. I'm stuck with Zignaji. It's fine. I'll just take.
No, that's not
Zignaji.
it. That's not it.
I got Tari Eason. I think he's gonna have a great
Stuck
year.
with Zignaji.
Missed last year with a weird injury. You know his injury last year? Bone growth. Like had a weird growth on his leg that required surgery.
Oh, I thought you meant he was like getting
taller? Oh, no.
uncomfortably.
He had,
or
he
something.
had one of
that
those
surgery.
freak injuries, but I love that dude, and I think he's gonna have a good year.
All right. Can we?
What did I forget?
You
Did I
forgot,
forget
you
one?
forgot Isaiah Hartenstein. All right, here we go.
Well, because I took Lively, I didn't want to go
Yeah,
too
yeah. I
big.
just wanted to take him from you so you couldn't.
Because they're kind of the same, you
They
know?
are. I will go with a different OKC pickup, Alex Caruso.
He was under two? Wow.
Alex Caruso, wasn't he? She should be about 9 points per game last year,
I
right?
love that you're just estimating on this. You're like,
No, I'm pretty
spitballing
sure
it.
I
No,
looked it
10.1. 10.1. Get him off the board.
I was gonna
Get
say I
off
did
the
not see him on the list of available players.
10.1. You got screwed.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Yeah,
okay.
that's tough luck, man. Tough.
I'm gonna have to pivot pretty hard then and take Miles McBride.
That's a good
There
pick.
you
He was
go.
on my board.
You might be buying high.
Woo, dude, he was the only bright spot for the Knicks last night.
He
but
was on my board.
He was cooking.
Great hair.
He was cooking. Really, it was just smooth watch. A real hooper. A real that boy is nice. Watcher pick here.
He was on my
I will
list.
take Miles Deuce McBride.
All right, I have my number one player on my board still available here, and I think he was the number one player in the draft to take. I'm taking Brandon Pajemski.
You're on the pod?
Brandon Podcast.
I'm not going to try and spell that.
Joe Lacob says he has all-star potential.
That to me, he is the physical embodiment of the Warriors' downfall.
Oh, I thought you were going to say of wins guys. Like, this is definitely
No.
the Harris All-Star.
All right, I'm gonna
Kispert.
take Zach Edey. I really think this guy's.
I mean,
gonna
that's
do
a good
something.
pick. He's for sure.
I think he's going to do something. He was like oddly looked past. All right,
I honestly, Zach Edey and his touch on that little jump hook.
I know, dude.
And also, like, I always think guys, because you watch them in college and they look big and they get to the NBA. He looks bigger in the NBA.
Yeah.
He's enormous.
he is enormous.
That's a good pick, man.
All right. Who else is my guy? I didn't prep for this correctly. I will take. Did John Morant count because he scored under 10 points a game if you average out over 82? All right. Give me Dalton Connect.
Oh, man, are you serious?
You can't take two
You can't take
rookies.
two rookies.
Why not?
Oh, hell yeah, because that was the rule. He only got to.
I thought you had to take a
have to take one.
but you could take as many.
Can take
No, come on. That was not the spirit of the game.
All right,
Because rookies are like going to have good seasons.
You know what's going to flip this thing, and you guys are. This is going to win me or lose me.
Yeah.
Give me give me Scoot Henderson.
I'll take Andre Iguodala.
He was under 10 as well.
Give me
Well, he was
Scoot.
pretty bad. This 10.1 from Caruso is killing me.
It is killing you.
Brutal.
Scoot Henderson was 14 points a game.
God damn it! All right, let me come back to me. Come back to me.
This is why you have to
forfeits. I'll
prep for
do
the
it later.
show.
I love that.
I tell you, I did.
Do you want to go off my list here?
This
We
is the
can-
first ever case of somebody passing their pick.
No, all right. Give me. God.
He's like, I hate Adam's list.
I do hate. I mean, Quentin Grimes is my guy. I don't believe in him this year, but
You don't?
give me Quentin Grimes.
There you go. I think it's a good pick. I think there's a
You
chance
should
that
believe in him this year.
Spencer Dinwiddie sucks.
Well, it's just I don't trust
Jaden
his
Hardy
knee, man. I
can't
don't trust his
guard. Well,
knee.
that's actually a good take.
That's my thing.
Take
Like-
him early. Trade him later on.
Yes.
All right. I don't know if I trust this guy to get back to me, so I'm going to take him now. I'm taking Nikola Jovic.
Yeah, it is your guy.
I love me some Jovic.
It's a great pick.
average under 10 last year?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't play.
I think he's going to have a breakout year with the Miami Heat.
7.7 points. Yep.
I am trying to do this draft the right way. It's not best guys draft.
It's your
our
guys.
guys
Yeah.
draft. I'll take another tiny king, Jose Alvarado. Put
I
him on
love
the
that you're
board.
going to take Tiny Kings left and
Put
right.
Jose
That's
Alvarado
perfect.
on the board, please.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Dude, Reed Shepard, your tallest player right now. Hell yeah.
You're gonna love my tall player pick.
You know what, though? I can't believe he fell to me on a technicality. Dalton Connect is my guy.
I
Now,
know.
I will say I was heartbroken
Tough.
last night. Well, I
You
was
took a Laker, man.
Well, it's tough, man. But I'll tell you why, because he's Thornton's finest, and they announced him last night as Henderson's from Henderson, Colorado, which technically true, but Henderson's not even a real city.
Yeah, it's tough. Tough.
Like, I can't get me Thornton love.
that means he probably doesn't rep Thornton like that.
Come on, like Henderson is not. It's like in Thornton. It's not
This
real.
is awesome.
It actually. I
This
had
is like I rep Cap Hill.
dude. I'm telling you, yeah, it's so true, man. It's so true. Because I had it.
Where
the
are you
tweet
from,
typed out.
Tech Center?
I was like, first Thornton player ever to hit a shot. They were like, from Henderson, Colorado. I was like, oh, you're killing me, man.
That's so
back,
Harrison
to back,
Wind, Rhino.
back-to-back picks. I can't believe I get to do this one. Actually, I don't know if this one's a technicality because it has been not 1 year like John Morant, but 2. Lonzo Ball? Is he eligible here?
I mean, how many points per game did he average the last year he played?
I mean, because he played like hardly at all because he couldn't walk.
That would probably be what it came down to.
Yeah, if it,
Yeah.
I'll give it to you
All
if
right.
it was.
No, it wasn't. He was 14. All right, I'll pivot. I'll pivot. Fair is fair. I'll take my guy. Actually, I'm going to go Andrew Nemhard. Andrew Nemhard is my guy.
One of the best available players on this list for sure.
Andrew Nemhard. Which
Wait,
means
he's an option?
dude, I'm telling
he
you, it was
averaged
great.
under 10 a game.
Yeah, it was I was surprised as well.
Oh, I should have thought
He's-
of that.
he's good, man.
Oh my god! I
Although
should have thought of
Benedict
that.
Mathurin being back might aid in a little bit to his opportunity, but you know what? We'll see.
No, that's a great pick. Vlada wants me to take the Japanese Faku the Grizzlies.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Surprised he
I
hasn't
mean,
gone yet.
he's there, but I don't know his name yet, so I have to. I can't pretend, you know. I got to get there. I need a nugget still. I will take Dario Saric. That's Saric to you, pal. Dario Saric,
I like it, man. Your guy.
my guy.
That's a good take.
No one is voting for me, but I love my list.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's yours though, man. Own
All
it.
right, another guy I'm happy who fell to me. He played last night, and one of my favorite role guys in the league, Josh Hart.
Yeah, that's a good take.
Josh Hart, my guy.
Yeah, under 9 points is kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
You want the list again?
He might average
hold on.
more rebounds than that this year.
Okay, I will take with my incredibly informed pick that I've been thinking about for some time. I will, of course, take. Jesus.
I'll give you. You do Jonathan Isaac is a good player. Anthony Black I like a lot.
I don't like
Jarris
those.
Walker's going to
I
play.
don't like those guys that much.
All right.
It's the 10-point part that's hard here because I have guys, but
They're all already good.
yeah, they're all already good. I'm like, I'll take Peyton Pritchard. Why not? Let's go. Put it on the board. It's Peyton world.
Peyton's
Peyton's world.
Oh, and you have a whole other one too.
Are we over an hour mark? Can I curse at it?
And I'll also take. I don't know. God damn.
Yeah,
This league stinks,
our
huh?
guys are like not great players.
They're
often,
not
you know?
good, dude. Come back to me. I forfeit
It's
my
a
pick.
draft.
First ever
Eric.
pass in
Not
the.
work.
Give me David Roddy on the Suns. Let's go.
It's actually a great pick, dude. It's an
Okay,
awesome
my
pick.
last pick, I'm taking a guy from my Hawks, Dyson Daniels.
That's my guy too. He was my guys on all
He's
the
officially
show.
my guy. So.
Yeah.
Wait, no, you know who I'm taking? Christian Brown. Give me Christian.
You already have the
She looks
Nugget.
stronger.
Why? How are these guardrails that you can't take other ones? Fine, whatever. I can't take rookies. I can't take Nuggets. You guys are all over my board.
I think I dominated
That's
this
the challenge.
draft.
All right, what else is the last one? Vogt?
All right, so I should go tiny guy. I kind of want to take Isaiah Joe here, but I'm gonna make Adam sad and take Isaiah Hartenstein instead.
Aw, you dirty dog. Yeah, you have a great list, man. People aren't going to appreciate it though.
Thanks.
But it is a great
I
list.
appreciate it, bro.
I know, man. That's how it works.
I did completely forget about Andrew Nembhard.
Yeah.
What a pick in the fourth round.
What
dude.
list wouldn't be complete without my guy, Jalen Pickett? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God! I thought you were doing it. I thought you were.
Christian Brown.
Christian Brown, yeah.
And look, man, I'm buying the dip.
Yeah,
Christian Brown could not have shot worse in
No.
the preseason. He looked shook. He looked scared. He looked all these things. But you know what? That was preseason basketball. I
Old
actually
stuff,
think he
man.
did some good stuff when he played with the starters. Guess what? That's where he's playing. Christian Brown, last pick. Let us know in the comment what your guys are. Let us know in the comments below. Go on record. We can go back and see what everybody predicted when the year is over, what win totals are. Tell us the wins. Tell us the seed. Tell us who is your guys. And tomorrow, when we see you guys again in these very chairs, we are going to be previewing
Oh my God,
an
dude.
actual regular season Denver
We
Nuggets
did
basketball
it.
game.
We did it.
Our long national nightmare is over.
Spend today prepping for tomorrow. Read the season preview
Yes.
these guys put together. Watch the player previews we put together on YouTube. Some of them contain very questionable online with D-line material. Others, rest of them are good though. Check it out.
We have some great content, man. If you spend the next 8 hours watching our content, reading our content, you will be entertained. I promise you that. Everybody, hit that like button on the way out. We'll see you in the regular season.